Iniba, and welcome back to Halo Halo, America's top entertainment and lifestyle show for Asian Pacific Americans. And here on Halo Halo, we're always stressing the importance of sharing our stories. Well, our next guest is doing just that with his passion project. Filmmaker Rodney Cahuto is here to talk about the Valor project. Welcome, Rodney.
Thanks for having me.
Now, when you first told me about this project, I was so excited to hear about your ideas and what motivated you. So share with the audience what motivated you to start this project.
So I'm a writer also, so I was always wanting to understand my roots, and I really wanted to understand my roots through culture and through art. So I started writing a novel about World War II in the Philippines. And as I started doing more research, I started realizing, you know, I really need to talk to the men and women that lived in those times.
Right.
And then as time went on, I was just like, well, you know, if I'm going to go ahead and, if I'm already interviewing them for my book and for research, I should just turn the camera on, you know, and kind of create a documentary and really capture their stories.
Yes.
So it's really kind of grown from that. And I just started realizing, you know, they are fading away, you know, and it's just the reality of it, and that I was just like, you know what, I got to do this now, you know, just for so many reasons. But I really want to just explore my roots as a Filipino through the culture.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I know you're Filipino American. Your parents, like my parents and grandparents, immigrated from the Philippines. So you realize, I remember you were telling me that you didn't see a lot of history books or stories about our culture, right? And that's the other reason that motivated you to do this.
Yeah, that was a big reason. It's interesting because, you know, a lot of us that are Filipino American, you kind of have that one moment where you go, you know what, I want to get to know more of my culture. And then when you start looking around for that, you see that there's, where is it? Where it's not readily accessible, where, you know, you can't go to like a website, or you got to do some really good dig.
Where did you even go?
Oh man, I would just research for books. I've been to the Philippines like three times now, and I would try to go to the museums. I would try to go to like, you know, like Corregidor, Intramuros, places like that to kind of just get an idea. But like, there's nothing. I mean, obviously, I had to literally go on an airplane, you know, through the thousands of miles to go get that, right? So, you know, for our generation, especially for Filipino Americans, like there really needs to be a place where it could be readily accessible. And so that's part of my goal, is that at the end of all this, I'll have it on a website, I will have a movie, a documentary, an art book that people will be able to take a look at those things and just say, oh, you know what, it's just readily accessible to people like me, that you know. Like,
and hopefully to schools. I hope that I was talking to you, I hope you do like some college tour or some high school tour to share with the rest of our community, you know?
That's definitely one of the goals that, you know, at the end of it, once everything, the documentary and the art books, I'd absolutely love to be able to go to different schools, to the kababayan clubs, and, you know, and just basically come like a traveling exhibit, you know, screen the movie, show the art book, show the pieces of it, because the art book's going to be interesting because it's gonna actually have like art, but also like short stories inspired by the stories of these men and women, you know, poems, you know. And
speaking about the men and women, I know you've interviewed several. What are some of the most touching stories that you've heard from them?
You know, there's a lot of really touching stories. I mean, I interviewed Gaudioso Bayani Evangelista. I went all the way up north, and he's like 90 now. And he was like, went to San Francisco, and I interviewed him, and he was just telling stories where, you know, it was amazing that what he went through. So he was a survivor of the Bataan Death March, and just the spirit that he still has even to this day. And you see, okay, man, this guy saw some pretty horrific things, yet, you know, he was able to overcome that and live a very, very full life.
You just give me goosebumps.
So those are some of the things. Like, I actually talked to another one, Jose Samante, last Wednesday, and I was talking with him, and his story was interesting too, because one thing that really got out to me was I asked him, well, why did you start fighting the Japanese? And he said that he started wanting to fight the Japanese because his they killed his father.
Oh, wow.
And so he was like, I just wanted revenge.
Wow.
So he literally ran off to the guerrillas, and he didn't see his family for like basically the duration of the war.
Wow.
And he didn't even know if any of them were alive, because his father had died, and he's like, look, I just wanted revenge. You know, and it was just really powerful to me, because I was like, wow, I can't imagine, you know, it's just like and same thing.
Right.
You know, he went to the jungle. He was
everything that he
starving,
went through,
dysentery,
and you
all
see
that
him
stuff.
now. You're like, wow,
Exactly.
so many rich stories. How can we become a part of it?
Well, I have a Kickstarter right now, and we're basically trying to raise funds so that we can do this on a grander scale.
Right.
So I want to go to the Philippines. I want to go all over the United States and interview the people, the men and women that have basically, you know, lived in those times, and gather their stories before they all fade away.
Yeah, I was going to say,
you know?
now is the time. We can't wait, because like you said, they're all going to fade away, and we need to share their stories.
Yeah, and so with the Kickstarter, that's one thing. It's like, it enables us as a community to basically help this sort of movement.
Get it be told.
And get it be told.
Yeah. And the Kickstarter website is?
thevalorproject.com. You can go there, and there will be links to the actual Kickstarter.
Yeah, and you can donate as little as well.
Oh, you can, it is like $1.
Yeah, I think it's
$1, $5, and there's different rewards.
Yeah,
so
there is.
that's the great thing about Kickstarter, is it's not just donating. You're not just donating and not getting anything. You're actually donating and getting something back.
In return,
so in return, so like when the when the documentary's done, you get the DVD, or you get
the book, maybe.
Exactly. Those are really cool. Some really cool rewards.
Yes. Well, what you're doing is very cool. It needs to be done. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Again, for more information on Rodney Cajudo's project, the Valor Project, the website is on your screen. Check it out. Time for a quick break, but we have more Holo News when we return.